Hey, what's up, everyone? PB Aspect Uno, Aspect One. I'm here to talk about. The best way to put it is medicating and self-medicating. You could always say there's a difference if you have seen a doctor, and then I don't know. I'm personally from California, um, Los Angeles County, and yeah, I spent most of my life in California, like 95% of it, 90, probably 99. I don't know. And like, I'm not complaining completely. I got the ocean, and other people already got the ocean, and there's plenty of things in California that we love. Um, so as far as the medication going, I'm not really talking about like this global or sure, man. The internet could open you up to all types, like what, like some type of psychedelic mushroom from Amsterdam. I don't know though. Mushrooms aren't the safest because there's permanent effects to those. Um, Permanent effects such as you start hallucinating, flashbacks. Um, so in other words, you will kind of be more into your past than usual, and I don't know about the chemical imbalance in your brain it might cause. It could mess up, the wrong mushrooms can mess with your spinal fluid and kind of curl your back a little bit, like an arch going forward, like kind of like a not a hunchback. It's not that serious, but you'll feel discomfort. Um, I don't know as far as the new prescription for like what I know is they're trying to treat depression through ketamine inhalers, and they're talking about releasing mushroom based or laced pills with it's supposed to be beneficial for depression, I suppose. Which I don't completely hate mushrooms. Of course, I feel like it should be regulated by a doctor over someone just saying, "Hey, I need $10. You want to eat these?" And I tried them already. Like they, if it's someone that's not a doctor, even if you're getting a prescription from a doctor, you should review this stuff on the phone, or you should hear a real review, like not not know someone just like a doctor maybe, because I don't think the doctors lie that they can't treat, saying I can't prescribe you this. That's the shit they be lying about, saying I can't prescribe it. I know the medications that the doctors have, and yes, I'm opening up and saying, from California, I self medicate from stuff that is not prescribed to me. And what I was gonna talk about is my main problem is concussion. I had a concussion back here. I don't even need to talk about running into the pole in like third or fifth grade, and shit. This one was more serious to me. This shit was big as fuck too though, but it doesn't. I don't have problems from it. Maybe like a little vision loss, like in my right eye. I don't know. Um, Other health problems we could talk about the depression, which is also has been taken care of. Not by Kaiser or like they gave me some medicine that might help a little bit at times, but the stuff I find outside of the doctors is what I'm gonna talk to you about. Um, I don't even know. I'm showing my face with my mask. Oh shit. Um, so I've tried a lot of different things. Before, around 18 is when I was showing serious symptoms of like um a mental disorder and like imbalance in my brain. It was actually PTSD to an extent, which is post traumatic stress disorder or something. It's kind of like being traumatized. I was about 18 years old, and like depression, shit, that it was around 17 or 18 I started getting depressed. And then um I was already smoking weed. Um I'm not saying these three drugs cause my depression. Inhalants are very dangerous because something about your heart. I don't know about your brain for sure. It could hurt your brain too. Enhance like that's the first thing I ever did. I was like 15 or 16, and I didn't die off it. I was doing. You should be careful though. I'd pass out on the floor when I was using it, and I'd sleep on the floor like 10 minutes straight every time I did it. And like I don't know, that should help me self conscious, like enter my conscience too. But should the only time you should be feeling that way is like off of helium, or I guess the new ketamine inhalers are safe, but street based ketamine that you get on the streets is not safe. You want to go to the doctors if you're really getting treated for ketamine. You should trust a doctor for that, and the mushrooms, which are just in, in the pills, I guess. Cause I don't recommend eating straight mushrooms, cause I have done that too, and they vary, and there's permanent damage for mushrooms. Like you get, these are some of the effects mushrooms have on me. You kind of get flashbacks, hallucinations. Like the hallucinations, you might make a habit of it. Like it just might alter you that way. Like you start hallucinating more than you should. Um, it could go to your, if you eat the wrong mushrooms. Well, first of all, some are poisonous, they'll kill you, and then it can mess with your spinal fluid, which will kind of curl your back a little bit. Like you'll lean forward a little more. Like um, also the flashbacks, yeah, you'll be more in tune to your past than you were before. Sometimes like, you'll kind of be like an experience, like where your past is like reflecting you, and then like you're not really focused on your future too much because you're over here like frying. The pills are probably not that from the doctors are probably not that gonna be that strong. I don't even know if that shit's official yet. We're treating depression with some type of mushroom pills. Um, shit. My go-to, I probably lost you when I didn't even talk about meth or amphetamines. Um, that was prescribed for depression. It was a big thing, I suppose. I was there. I heard it got banned in 1970 from being prescribed for depression. It is still possible to get prescribed methamphetamine from um maybe even Kaiser. You know, you could pick it. They probably have some of these pills. Like you heard of Adderall, I'm pretty sure. That is a mild version of methamphetamine. It's actually not methamphetamine. It's just amphetamine salts. Which the difference is, what I researched is that methamphetamine will activate both sides of your brain, and Adderall, which is just amphetamine salt, might just be one side of your brain. Because they called it levo and dextro, or maybe it's dextro. I don't know, bro. I really don't know. Levo and dextro, which means left and right, as far as stimulating your brain, I guess. Activity, stimulation. And yeah, I could go into a lot about it, like um, dopamine, serotonin. Like I believe I get a serotonin rush because I could literally stay up for like over 2 days, and that means you're basically so aware, alert, and it's crazy, dude. Like while people go to sleep, you can watch like you just observe human um behavior and like realize the imbalance of thing why things are imbalanced and shit. And you can look at the sun. You can measure like 24 hours, shit like that. You can see the clocks versus the sun and shit like crazy shit like that. Go ahead and look at fucking outer space for a little bit. Oh, it's fun. Like that's why I get away with all this shit because NASA showed me that where I'm at. Like NASA told me I could fucking where I live and I'm not lost. You know. So but basically, if I tell you I'm like still Cali kid mode, like I don't get out of California. Um, we could continue. to to talk about my experiences, fucking taking like joint pain away, discomfort, depression. All right, that's part one. I'm gonna start recording again after. All right, I'm ready to continue. Um, so my problem was, like I had told you, I had done inhalants, which is dangerous. I'm lucky I survived. And then I did marijuana around 16 or 17, which is shortly after I had messed with inhalants. So probably a safer switch, but how it altered me so much because I had no time to think about what I was doing. I was just like I was kind of peer pressured into that shit to spend my money on a dime or a dub, even more of marijuana for like 2 years straight, a daily thing like after school and shit. And shit, I got depressed because I even took too many e-pills after that because I should enter my school. There's people selling me $10 e-pills, which is probably not safe to take anymore because even back then it destroyed me, dude. I was destroyed by ecstasy pills, and so I was depressed. I got to the doctor. They started giving me some like weak pills that kind of make you nauseous, kind of shit. It's supposed to build up serotonin in your mind and shit. And honestly, I'm not recommending like, oh, you need to learn to stay up for 3 days or 2 days, cause that's what meth will do to you. But um yeah, as far as getting my comfort and my mind straight, I use tobacco. Occasionally, I used to drink beer for a lot. I'm gonna say I use beer and, and wine combined like 3 times a week. Wine is for 21 and older, right? Um, Tobacco is even 21 and older. I was smoking when I was 17. Tobacco, um, which is illegal for me too. But at 18, I was able to get. I was smoking a pack a day by 20 years old, and I've been smoking a pack a day just because how much I messed up off the first three: the e pills, the weed, and then inhalants. All three of them got me smoking cigarettes. Um, and I was okay. And then I'll drink a beer every day with the cigarettes and eat like Carl's Jr. like every day. Not like I would get like Mi Ranchito, McDonald's, Mi Ranchito's Mexican food. Really good Mexican food. I didn't even eat Subway from time to time. Rarely orange chicken and shit, but I had got it. Burger King, Jack in the Box. I was getting all that plus a pack of cigarettes, a nice 32 ounce of beer, and yeah, me and my friends would drink every day too. I had a few buddies, like five or so, that would be down to watch me drink a beer every day. And well, I had more friends, but more five that were there most that were always more there than other people. And then my parents would let me, drink at the house with my dinner. My my sister and her family would let me drink, not out of control, just a little bit here and there, like every day, every time I was there actually. Um, yeah, at 23 years old, I snorted my first line of crystal, which I'm gonna tell you about my nasal passage. Everybody's maybe mine goes up here and right here when I snort shit. This is not a comfortable feeling. This one went all the way to my down my spinal cord to I feel it in my toes,
and I just like can't stop twitching my toes and shit. And then like, all right, I, main thing is, since I told you I had a concussion right here, 14 years later I started my first line, and that shit like popped right here, like not popped like in a bad way. Like it was actually one of the best reliefs I ever had. I started crying. It felt so good, and like I was just crying. Everything was making me cry, and yeah. So if you must know, that shit is addicting, but I don't know. I was pressured into that too. Um, so I don't know how many times it takes for you to get addicted. Probably or 5 times. Um, yeah, and the thing is, you'll get a chemical imbalance, maybe mentally or something, and it's gonna if you want to be treated, sure, you crack your skull once, or you crack it like 1,000 times, like I did. I'm estimating 1,000 times or more, and it also cracked the disc in my back, which the doctor had told me cigarettes could shift the disc in your back. I would snort so many lines, it would go all the way to my tailbone this time. Um, it also go to my hip, which was good because my car I had a really stiff clutch. It was a 95 Mustang stick shift, and when I push in the clutch, it would put too much pressure on my hip, and it just had a real bad feeling, like pressure in my hip after I stopped driving it for a couple years. So my dad actually wanted to sell. He didn't let me drive it. He said I had to go. They were looking at my hip at the doctor, and like that shit pretty much was giving me like real discomfort in my hip. So when I started the lines, they took my car away after I started. Shortly after I started snorting line, um, my hip would pop. My skull right here would pop. Eventually, it would pop like right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, and right here. My like I said, my back, my hip, and that's pretty much the main things that will always bother me, and it hit every one of those spots. Um, if you must know, I was saying it could cause an imbalance in your brain activity. First of all, you're staying up too late, and your mind wants more to stay in that way of thinking. If you enjoy it, I guess the serotonin or dopamine rush you get, and yeah, altogether over 7 years, I used like 5 years. I used 5 years out of 7 years since I started, and that is um, what was I gonna say about that? I was gonna say I needed more to get a balance in my brain activity rather than um shit than it having an imbalance all the time. And so what I was gonna say, like if you're just messing around experimenting it, it's kind of dangerous because you're gonna be dependent on it, and you won't be fully treated until you do like consecutive, which I don't know the dangers of that because I survived it. I don't know how dangerous it is. I know you don't want to inject it. If you snort it, I don't know how dangerous that is. I survived. It worked for me. Um, if you smoke it, it can increase your heart rate. Probably mess up your mind a little bit. Like I don't know. I'm supposed to get my brain scanned. Actually, I think it looks pretty good right now. I grow hair. I'm healthy. But you gotta realize I eat a lot of food. I drink a lot of liquids. And when I first started snoring lines, I needed coffee. Um I needed a beer. I would have a 32 ounce um daily every time I was high. And also some wine bottles, right? That's for 21 plus wine. So I don't know. I'm too lost up in this shit. I was gonna tell you I've tried a lot of things, and if we're just talking about treating depression, is that's what we're doing. I don't see why something they used to use and it was effective. It's probably more effective now. I mean, crystal meth. The first time methamphetamine was crystallized was in 1919, I believe, in Japan, and then somehow it spread in the U.S. and other places. Um, 1919 was the first time someone made crystal methamphetamine and crystallized, and it reached the pharmaceutical people to prescribe it for depression, weight loss, narcolepsy, and maybe PTSD, which is post traumatic stress disorder. Anyways, be careful though. I'm just saying, I don't see why it has never been FDA approved, or they don't hire the uh, people that work in super labs to which they say it's from Sudafed, ephedrine from Sudafed, or P2P, which is just various chemicals that are safe enough to distribute. And so if it's P2P or ephedrine, like they had it going to Mexico, then that's basically not FDA approved, and it's also sad because um ask the workers themselves if you knew them, like do you think this is even important or worth doing? And for me, man, it changed my life. Like I have a lot in my system where I don't even have bad withdrawals anymore. I'm really smart. I'm studying more than just this. Um, like I have to sniff like the fumes off of hand sanitizer sometimes to open up that space in my mind now. That's fried, or no, it's not fried. Yeah, open. I don't know. Like, if you really, if you want to believe me that I'm not stupid, then you could put some rubbing alcohol in a balloon, blow up the balloon, shake it up with your breath, your carbon dioxide, and the hand sanitizer. Stick that shit in your nostril and do it slowly, cause I don't know how much you'll burn someone that doesn't put shit in their nose already. But I put a lot of shit in my nose, and you let a little air out and smell how strong the fumes are. If you feel like I don't even know if it's a good idea. My nasal passage just took a lot up. I don't know if you want to sniff a balloon full of hand sanitizer. Fucking, that shit will, maybe, I don't even know if that's safe if you never snorted a line. I don't even know if it's safe, dude. Um, I gotta stop talking. But yeah, I was gonna tell you, cocaine is actually dangerous. It's actually, because it has more dangerous than crystal amphetamine. It's not as crazy. It's not as strong feeling, but it's actually more dangerous. It could stop your heart compared to crystal meth. And something about smoking meth, that should increase your heart rate too. Um, it helps your breathing too. Like for some reason, you get like more calm. You take more steady breathing when you're on that shit. And I don't know, man. I could just tell you that I think that's better than these pills they're gonna distribute and these ketamine inhalers. I've tried something called kava, which is kind of similar to marijuana, but not as much as a mental trip as marijuana. It's called kava, Kava. You get it in wax form, kava wax, and it's not really easy to find. You can get it on eBay. That's where I got mine. And you could actually make, you can even put mushroom. You put mushrooms in a and milk, hot milk with chocolate syrup. Put honey in it. Chocolate milk, syrup, honey. You stir the mushrooms in there. I already told you not all mushrooms are safe. Some are poisonous, they'll kill you. Some will give you problems with your mind, like hallucinations, flashback, spinal, mess with your spinal fluid, curl your back up. E-pills, I don't recommend ever taking them because you don't know who's making those shit. Fentanyl, everyone knows that shit's it got twice as strong, twice as deadly. Seriously, I could tell you about a little dose of fentanyl being deadly. Like, you snort something the size of your pinky nail, you'll probably die off some of that shit. Like, it's almost some of that shit is probably a guarantee.